Hi everyone, in this lecture we will learn break, continue and pass statements in Python. These are also called transfer statements. Before starts today's lecture, let us try to recall what have we discussed in lecture 30. What is the use of transfer statements? Can we exit the loop even though the condition is true? Categories of transfer statements. Some example cases related to transfer statements. We covered each and every point clearly in the lecture 30. If you haven't watched that, please watch that video for the better understanding of this video. After watching this video, you will learn what is the use of break statement. We will discuss some real-time examples for break statement. When do we use continue statement? What is pass in Python? We will write a coding for break, continue and pass statements. As we covered in the previous video, we have three categories of the control statements in Python. Those are break, continue and pass statements. So in this video, let us discuss these one by one with help of the coding. First one is break statement. The break statement can be used to come out the loop when a certain condition is met, even though in case of the while loop, the condition is true. In case of the for loop, all the iterations are not completed. So simply we can say that when you are working with for loop or while loop, already we covered these two loops. We already know that while loop continue the executions if the condition is true. When the condition becomes false, automatically the control comes out from the loop. This is the general rule about the while loop. But even though the condition is true, if you want to come out from the while loop, we can use the break statement and come to the for loop. Even though all the iterations are not completed, we can come out from the for loop with help of the break statement. For example, I am searching for a particular product. When that particular product is found, no need to continue the searching because already the desired product is found. We can come out from that loop where the loop is designed for the searching process. See one more example. I am searching for a seat in the train. In that some seats are occupied, some seats are booked. So I am searching for the available seat. When I found a available seat, or you can say an empty seat, no need to continue the search operation. We can occupy that seat. In this case also, searching about the available seat is a repeated process. For that we use for loop. When we found an available seat or an empty seat, we can come out from that loop. Let us implement this. You will get the better idea. I will try to make you understand this concept with help of this code. See, coming to this example, we are implementing a while loop. I assignment 1, I less than or equals to 5, then print the value, and in each and every iteration, the I value will be incremented. So our intention is to print the values from 1 to 5. Let us execute it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is general implementation already we covered in the one of our videos. Now, even though the condition is true, I want to come out from that loop based on some condition. For example, when I value reaches 3, then I want to exit from the loop. I don't want to continue the remaining iterations. For that, what we are writing here, sixth statement within the while loop, if I is equal to 3, then break means it comes out from the while loop. Now let me execute it. See the output 1 and 2 only because When the I value reaches 3, the control comes out from the while loop. So remaining iterations will be cancelled. Third iteration, fourth iteration and fifth iterations will be cancelled. That is the importance of break statement. Here we are implementing break with while loop. Let us implement the break statement in for loop. First see this example. Here we have some fruits: apple, banana, mango, orange. With help of the for loop, just I want to read that fruit name, then I want to print that. See, apple, banana, mango, orange. This is general implementation of for loop. Let us think this is one basket. The list is one basket and I want to search for my favorite fruit. Let us say my favorite fruit is banana. I am searching for my favorite fruit. When I found my favorite fruit, no need to continue the searching, right? Because I found my favorite fruit, I can take it from the basket. We can stop the searching, right? So like that, in such cases, we use break statement. See, fruits is a list of the fruits: apple, banana, mango, orange. With help of the for loop, we are reading fruits one by one from the list fruits and storing in a variable called fruit. When the fruit value is equal to banana, then I want to stop the searching operation. I want to come out from the loop. Now run it apple, because in the first iteration the apple will be printed, but in the second iteration when I reach the fruit banana, then it comes out from the for loop. So the remaining all iterations will be cancelled. When the control reaches to the break statement, at that point of time it comes out from the for loop. That's why the print statement also will not be executed in the second iteration. That is the reason we are getting the output only apple. I think it's clear. Now let us discuss about continue statement. The continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code inside a loop for the current iteration only. In simple words, if you want to skip a particular iteration, we can go for the continue statement, and that particular iteration only will be cancelled. The remaining iterations will be executed as usual. It is very useful if you want to skip a certain conditions or certain items. See some examples for the better understanding. Skip the process of invalid data from the given sequence. Nothing but suppose we have one sequence of the data. I want to read only valid data. If it is a invalid data, I don't want to process that invalid data. When we know that is a invalid data, no need to process furtherly. Na? So we can skip that particular iteration, but we can continue the remaining iterations. Let me take one more example. Suppose we have a program in a file. I want to read the program from that file line by line. While reading, if a line is a comment line, I don't want to read that because that is not part of your program. In such cases also, we can implement continue, because if it is a comment statement, no need to process that, no need to execute that. We can skip that line and we can go for the next line. So in such cases, we use continue statement. Let us implement this, then we will get a good idea about this. See this, in this example, we are implementing for loop. This is general implementation of the for loop. Ages is a list where the list elements are 10, 25, none, 58, 40. Okay. Then I want to read each and every element and I want to print that. Now see 10, 25, none, 58, 40. But you can easily understand that none is not an age. It is invalid data. Age should not be a none, right? So suppose we have a requirement. In that, I want to process only valid ages. For that, we need to store the valid ages in another list. See, first list is ages. It has valid data and invalid data also. Okay, none is a invalid age. Now, I want to create one more list with valid data. For that, I am taking one more list called valid ages. Initially, it is empty, right? Because we didn't start the process. Now using for loop for age in ages, at each and every iteration one item will be stored in the variable age. If the age is none, continue. The meaning of this statement is, if the age is none, where none is not a valid age, I want to implement continue. When you implement continue, the remaining statements of this particular iterations will be cancelled and it continue the execution of the remaining iterations, because if the item is none, no need to execute the remaining statements, no need to continue the process with invalid data. That's why we can go for the next item. In the third iteration, the age value becomes none, 8th statement becomes true. In the third iteration, continue will be executed, nothing but it cancelled the remaining statements of third iteration. So the 10th statement will not be executed in the third iteration. Fourth iteration will be executed as usual. 58 will be append in the valid ages list, and in the next iteration 40 will be append in the valid ages list. And finally I want to print all valid ages. Let me execute this. Now you can see 10, 25, 58, 40. So here we are trying to cancel the execution of rest of the code in the current iteration. Third statement is pass statement. It is very simple to understand. It is just like a placeholder for future code. We are not writing anything at particular point of time. We will write something in future. Generally this pass statement can be used with loops concepts and in functions also. When we use pass statement, it does nothing when executed, but it prevents errors in the places where empty code is not allowed. The meaning of this statement is, if you want to keep an empty space in your code, it will raise error. I will show you that practically. So if you want to prevent those errors, we can use pass statement. Now see the example for the better understanding of pass statement. So this is the implementation of for loop. See, this is one list. We stored some numbers and implementing for loop. In each and every iteration, one number will be stored in the variable number. Now I want to check whether the number is even number or not. For that, if we implement a modulus division operator, it gives reminder. The remainder is equals to 0. When you divide with 2, we can say that that number is even. That is a general rule. So with help of the sixth statement, we can identify the number is a even number or not in each and every iteration. Now what I want to do is, if the number is even number, I want to do something. At this particular point of time, I don't know what I want to do with that even number, but I will decide in future. So that's why I want to keep an empty place here. After finding a number is even number, I will write the code in the future, and coming to the else part, I want to print that number. Nothing but if the number is not even number, the remaining numbers will be printed with help of the else statement. Let me execute this. Now we are getting error here, because coming to the for loop, in the seventh statement, we are not writing anything. We are trying to keep seventh statement as empty, but it is not allowed. If you are trying to keeping a line as empty, it raises an error. But now what I want to do is, I want to prevent the raising of the errors, and I want to write the code in future. For this, we use pass statement. Now see, same code, but in the empty line, in the seventh statement, I am writing pass statement. Let me execute this. Now we are not getting any error, right? When you found a number is a even number, you can implement your logic in the future. Here, pass statement is just like a placeholder. You can write your code in future in place of the pass statement. And already we covered one more point. We can use the pass statement in the loops and in functions also. In this example, we are trying to find sum of the two numbers with help of the functions. So 10, 20, these values will be passed here, and a plus b, 10 plus 20, 30 will be printed. This is general implementation of the function. But now when we pass 10, 20 to the function sum, at particular point of time, I don't know what I want to do with help of 10, 20. I will decide the code in future. With help of these 10, 20, I want to write a code in future. So that's why I keep this statement as empty. Let me execute this. It raises an error because we are not allowed to keep the body of the function as an empty. To overcome this problem, we can write pass. You can write your code in the future in place of pass. If you write like this, it prevents the raising of an error. So this executed successfully. As per our code, we are not getting any output. I am not writing any print statement. Clear, I hope. Check your knowledge, what you learned from this lecture. What is the use of break statement? We have seen some real-time examples for break, continue and pass statements also. When do we use continue statement? What is pass statement? And we have seen coding for break, continue and pass statement. If this video is useful to you, please do subscribe the channel, like the videos, share the videos and watch the videos. Thank you.